Here, local real estate agent,
Uh,
Berkshire Hathaway. Hey, I'm calling about your home on 123 Elm Street. Notice it came off the market. I was curious, Sonny, are you still considering offers on the property?
no, man. I mean, I've been getting so many calls. I've been getting hounded like crazy.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I definitely understand. Your home has been pretty popular since it came off the market. Now, Sonny, let me ask you, if the home sold, where were you going to move to next?
To be honest, I wanted to go to the Bay Area. I love San Francisco really well, and just kind of seeing the scenery there.
Oh, gotcha. What's bringing you out to the Bay Area? Just pretty much the scenery?
Yeah, I used to work there before,
Oh,
and
okay.
I really want to come back there actually.
Yeah, I love the Bay Area. It's my type of city as well. Now, let me ask you, Sonny, how soon would you looking to be out there?
Honestly, kind of looking at like 3 to 6 months down.
Okay. Now, were we talking 3 to 6 months from the time you had it originally on the market, or 3 to 6 months from now?
3 to 6 months from now.
From now, gotcha. Okay. Now, what exactly is bringing you out to the Bay Area other than, you wanted to be out there? Was there a job relocation? Was it, something that had to be done sooner?
No, not really. Just I got family there, so just want to be close to them.
Gotcha. Okay. So just wanted to be closer to family as well, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Now, Sonny, if the opportunity presented itself, and you could get more offers on the home and possibly get out there, would you be interested in meeting with me?
Yeah, I mean, if you got a buyer, just bring them through. I mean, I'm not ready to list with anybody at the moment, uh,
Sure.
because like I didn't have a good experience in the beginning, so just wanna wait it out for a bit.
Gotcha. Now let me ask you, when you had the home on the market, did you get any offers?
Yeah, we had one or two, but they're very very low. Like they're lowballing like crazy.
Gotcha. So you had low offers on the property. Now, that last agent that you worked with, what did they do that you like best?
I mean, they were communicative. They communicated really well and effectively. They did open houses every week.
Okay.
Um, they had a really good marketing plan as well too to kind of market the property.
Sure.
You know, luck of the draw. They were telling me, "Hey, the market's shifting," and that was
Uh-huh. So they told you pretty much the market was shifting, but other than that, sounds like they were pretty proactive.
yeah, yeah. I mean, what do you do?
Well, that's one thing I would definitely love to sit and discuss with you. Now, is there anything that the last agent did that you feel they should have done?
Yeah, I mean, like door knocked, kind of been more aggressive during offer presentation.
Mm-hmm.
uh, to be honest, like I have a background in sales, and I had to go through negotiations with them in order to get to where we needed to be.
Sure. Now, I know you mentioned earlier you kind of want to wait it out a little bit. Now, have you already chosen an agent to work with when that time comes?
Not yet. I mean, if an agent brings a buyer,
Sure.
I'm willing to go down that direction, but to
Okay.
be, I don't want to list at the moment.
Absolutely. No, I understand. Now, if I was able to get you more offers, Sunny, on the property in the next 30 days, would you be open to just meeting with me?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Sure.
what is guaranteed? I mean, what happens if you aren't able to get me any offers?
Well, I definitely would love to discuss what I would do. And again, I'd be more proactive in getting your home out there and marketed in a broad audience. Let's do this, Sunny. And here's what I recommend. And, let's not agree to anything at this time. What I just like to do is just come over, take a look at the property. We can discuss a plan that will actually cause the home to sell. And at that point, you can decide if working with me would make sense or not. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, I mean, I have to ask the missus to be honest. Uh, Can I give you a call back later? Was this the best number for you?
This is my number that I called you from. You said you had to talk to the missus. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, no, definitely understand. Let's just do this then. Would you be available tomorrow at 5 p.m. or Friday at 6 p.m.? Again, I'll let you talk to the missus and confirm with her later on today. Which would work best for you, and I'll just pencil that in.
I would say give me 2 weeks. It's just got off the market. We still gotta reassess what we want to do. If you have a buyer, bring them along. But let me talk to the missus and I'll keep you posted, okay?
Okay, well, I know to be honest with you, from my experience, I know you're gonna get probably bombarded by other agents who are gonna probably say the same thing. Let's just pencil in tomorrow at 5 p.m. What I'll do is I'll give you a call in the morning just to confirm that you talked to the missus, and then we can just sit and talk and we'll discuss what I can do to get your home on the market and hopefully this time sold. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I mean, can we push it to 6? But give me a call in the morning just to confirm, okay?
I'll do that, Sonny. I'll push it in for tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'll let you discuss it with the missus this evening. I'll give you a call in the morning just to confirm.
Awesome, thanks.
Awesome, Sonny. And I'll just go in the prequel.
Yeah, so I love that you asked an additional question. Besides the scenery, was there anything else that's bringing you to Bay Area?
Mm-hmm.
Nice
Mm-hmm.
touch there. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, at the end there, you close, and it was like, no obligation if you feel like there's benefit to working with me, and let's not commit to anything. A little bit of a takeaway there. So I think overall nice touch. The pace was good. You talk pretty fast,
I
Christopher.
do. In a way,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe a little bit faster than him, but like I think it was
Sure.
I think it was good because Sonny doesn't talk super slow either. So I think there was a match. You're just a little bit faster. So if you want to
Sure.
watch that, but
Okay.
I think everything else was good. You basically went through the whole script verbatim, and yeah, no, good job.
Thank you.
Perfect.
I wanted to talk about what Jose mentioned, like dig into that why is he moving there? He just said the scenery, I kind of like it there. Well,
Yeah, it
why
was
does
kind
it
of
really
like a
sound
smoke
like a
stream.
desperation move? You know what I mean?
No, no, it definitely didn't.
Yeah.
That's why I love that you listened and then you went deeper on that question.
Mm-hmm.
So great job there. Awesome.
Want to flip
All
it,
right.
Sonny?
Yeah, Sonny, let's go.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, it's Christopher.
Yeah, this is him.
Hey, Christopher, it's Sunny with eXp Realty. How are you today?
Ah, God, is another agent?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I guess you're getting a lot of calls today, aren't you?
So many. How can I help you, Sonny?
Hey, not bad, not bad. Hey, I did see that your property on 123 Main Street got expired, and just wanted to kind of circle back with you to see, were you guys still in the market to sell, or what was the plans?
Well, I mean, I was hoping to be out in Florida by this spring, but I think plans have changed. We're just gonna put it on the market for rent.
Oh, got it, got it. I mean, what's bringing you out to Florida?
Well, I had a job offer out there. I'm still gonna take the job, but I mean, since we can't get the home sold and moved out sooner than expected, we're just gonna rent it out. So we're already talking to some property managers. So I need to just, just I don't want to waste your time.
Hey, that's totally fine, man. I mean, at the end of the day, my job is to kind of help you guys and see where we can kind of get you to Florida ASAP, right? I mean, if we could get you the same top dollar that you were looking for previously before within the next couple of weeks, would that warrant a conversation to kind of see how we could better assist you?
Well, I'm gonna need the property in escrow and closed by at least March the latest. I mean, if you can do a 3-month contract, that'll be fine.
Yeah, that's no problem at all. I mean, I would love to discuss our options just to kind of see if we're on the same page. Does tomorrow at 5 o'clock work, or Friday at 6?
I mean, Sonny, if you could do a 3-month contract and get me an offer in the next 30 days in escrow, because like I said, I have to be in Florida by this spring, and I don't want to be going through the move during that period. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And that's why I want to sit down with you to kind of show you our aggressive marketing tactics. Again, like I said, do you have some time tomorrow at 5 or Friday at 6?
Well, I'm gonna have to talk to the wife tonight. I mean, I know she's already talking to some property managers today. So just give me a call on Monday. I'm gonna talk to her this weekend because we have a lot of things going
Hey,
on.
yeah, that's totally fine. I mean, with our mutual availability at the moment, Monday at 6, would that work better for us?
Yeah, let's go ahead and pencil that in for Monday at 6.
Got it. Perfect. And is this the best number for you as well?
It is, but Sonny, um, like I said, I need to be closed and out and sold by March. I mean, what are you going to do differently? I mean, we've been on the market for 6 months, and nothing really happened.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher, that's a very good question, and that's why we have to meet. I have to show you in person to kind of explain everything to you and kind of get you understanding what's going to happen. In addition to that, I'll send some marketing material your way as well, to 123 Main Street, and you can look over my credentials, see how many houses I've sold as well, and kind of look at the marketing plan that we'll be doing. And then once on Monday we meet, then at the end of the day, you have full discretion of how we're going to market the property and kind of move forward with it as well. Okay.
Okay. And what about your commission? What are you charging?
That's a very good question. I mean, that's why you have to meet. I mean, I have to showcase everything to you in person, and with our mutual availability and the misses there, then we can have a proper conversation.
Okay. Like I said, let me just talk with the wife and just give me a call prior to Monday and we'll just confirm.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
I know you're really trying to get the appointment right away. Uh, I'm not too sure if you actually go through like, well, what did the last agent do? Um, you know, if that's part of your your part of your script. I mean, I'd like to know, personally what they do, what can I do, what could they do best. That's probably the only thing that came to mind right away because right after I told you I was going and I needed to be gone by March, you wanted to get the appointment. So I would have probably fed into that and see what the last agent did and what he liked best and whatnot. How many offers did you get? Just kind of get a good idea before coming over.
Got it. Got it. Cool. I appreciate
Uh,
that.
yeah, that's what came to mind.
Here's what I would say. I would just say be careful using like realtor lingo versus consumer lingo. What I mean by that is at the very beginning, I think you said your home expired. Some I'm imagining some consumers may not know what that means. Some of them may. But I notice that in sometimes when we're role playing or sometimes using um, role playing with somebody else, we'll use realtor lingo versus consumer lingo. And this is the way I would think about it. Like imagine that you're meeting with somebody and you're like getting like a water filtration system and they start using words that are pertinent to your industry that a consumer may not know what it means. Like I'll give you an example. Like if I say, hey, your home came off the marketplace recently, I would say that more consumers would know what that means than your home expired. I would say that expired is more like in the realtor community, like, hey, look, and you may even get the question, like, what does that mean that my home expired at times? Another thing that I notice is that realtors will say something like, oh, let's get together for a listing presentation. And consumers are kind of like, okay, a listing presentation, like the way I would think about it is what are your thoughts when somebody says, I'm going to come over and do a presentation for you? Instead, using words like, hey, look, let's get together for a meeting, instead of like a presentation. So it's just something that I'm like nitpicking at it, but something to be aware of, not only with the word expired, but also like with words like listing presentation, or just be aware of realtor lingo versus consumer lingo. Yeah, and commission. I think sometimes my go-to as it relates to commission, I always use like, that's a really good question. Um, Here's what I would say as it relates to commission. I don't have a set commission that I charge. I usually try to be flexible on my fee, just depending on whatever the client's needs are. Obviously, I want to earn your business. Is there like a certain commission structure that you're looking for to try to see if I can accommodate to your needs? And the reason I like going to that, even if I didn't give them my commission, I didn't let them know what the commission is, but I'm putting it back on their court. And it's nice to know what their expectations are, Like what if they say, hey, look, I'm only willing to pay you 0.5%. It lets you know what you're going to be challenged with versus versus if they say, well, look, I was hoping you'd do it for 2%. Now you know that the gap from 2 to 3 is not that large versus if they say I'll do it for 1%. The other thing as it relates to the commission, I think it was like, look, I have to showcase everything to you. Whenever somebody says I have to showcase everything to you, from a different personality standpoint, maybe like a driver, I'd be like, look, dude, I don't want you to showcase everything to me. I just want to get straight to the point. I just want to know what you would do for me. So by putting it up on their court, sometimes they even forget that they asked you the question and they might be more straightforward, and it's an easier transition. So just be careful of things like that. That would be the feedback. Hope it helps.
Appreciate it, Jose. Thank you so much.
Anybody else want to role play something?
Jose, quick question in regards to the event in February.
Yeah. Huh?
Are you guys? I already paid for the ticket. Are you guys going to be notifying us via email on that shortly?
I would say I'm not. There's a gal by the name of Gabriella
Yeah.
who set that up. She should be reaching out via email, but I would imagine that once you're registered, you should receive some sort of email confirmation. If you haven't, I'll post her number on the chat box.
Okay, that'd be great.
You can reach out to her, and she would be the best person to kind of guide you as it relates to that. But congratulations. Okay. Look forward to meeting you in person.
Yeah, I'm coming out from the West Coast. First time in Florida. Looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys.
What part of the West Coast?
Vegas.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool. What else you guys want to work on?
I can role play. I'm really bad, but I figure this is the only way I'm gonna push myself. So if somebody wants to be my leader.
I'll go with you.
I'll do it. Okay.
Good.
I'll let you. No, I'll give feedback.
Okay, who's gonna be my seller?
I'll be the seller. Chris.
Oh, Christopher.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Ring.
We're doing expireds, right? I'm an expired?
Yes.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, is this Christopher?
It is. Who is it? Who's this?
Hi, Christopher. This is Consuelo. I was calling because I saw that your property came off the market, and I was wondering, do you plan to interview some realtors to help you sell the home?
Consuelo, I've been getting calls all morning. I think we're just going to take it off the market right now.
Yeah, that sounds like you were very famous this morning, huh?
Yeah, we're going to take it off the market. Where were you when my home was on the market?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there is a lot of houses in the MLS. It's really difficult to know all the houses. The only reason I saw your house was off the market, it was because I was looking for a client that I have, and it happens to have I happened to see your house, so I saw it came off the market. So I was wondering, I was just calling to see if you were interested to interview some realtors. But yeah, it seems like you are really frustrated because the house didn't sell. Right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I mean, we've been on the market for 6 months. We're just going to take it off right now, probably try again in the spring.
Of course. And just curious, I mean, I saw the photos of your house. It looks very lovely. It's in a great area, great school district. If you don't mind me asking, is there any particular reason you were even considering selling it?
Yeah, we're just going to downgrade.
Oh, I see.
The kids are all out the house, so we're just looking for a single story, maybe 3-bedroom.
Of course. And are you planning to stay in the same area, or you're looking to look for a different area?
We're going to stay here in Vegas. I just wanted to, kind of get rid of our 5-bedroom, downgrade to a small one, take some equity, go on vacation.
Of course, yeah. And I would definitely be able to help you if you also need help with that. We have a lot of listings that we can try to see if any of those listings match with what you're looking for. And yeah, so it seems like just curious. I mean, did the previous agent give you any feedback or tell you anything about why the house wasn't selling or anything like that?
No, actually, he didn't give no feedback. Right when it expired, he just called me the day before, saying our home's going to be expired. You're going to get a lot of calls from agents. So no feedback.
Okay. Really? Wow. Well, let me be the first one to tell you that's you definitely have better service than that.
Because I was ready to
you at least once a week telling you what happened. So it sounds like you still want to sell this home. It's just that you know why it didn't sell or what changes you can make in terms of more proactive and aggressive approach to be able to get the home sold. So I would love to stop by, see what it has to offer, see what the house has to offer in person. And once I'm there, I can tell you a couple things very clearly. The first one, how can it didn't sell, or what changes we can make in terms of more proactive and aggressive approach. And I can show you a net sheet so you can be able to see what you would get once you get it sold. Would you be opposed to give me just 10 to 20 minutes to be able to show you what we do for sellers just like you that have their house in the market and hasn't sold? Would you be opposed to that?
What are we gonna do different?
Of course, that's a really good question. And it's very difficult to tell you over the phone. So that's why I would like to come and see the house and see what marketing would need. Do you agree that homes are different? So I would need to see the house and actually see what kind of marketing the house would need. And I'm gonna be very honest with you, Christopher. I don't call everybody whenever houses are off the market. I only call the ones that I see. I took a look of your property and I see that there is room for improvement. So can I make a recommendation?
So, well, I mean, right now we're still really considering waiting till the springtime, Consuelo. I'm getting like a lot of calls right now.
Yeah, so let's say that we have a really good, let's say that I bring a buyer, right? And you have a very good offer, really acceptable to you. Would you still wait for a spring, or you would be willing to sell right now?
I mean, do you have a buyer?
We have a lot of buyers, we have a lot of calls every day for buyers who are looking for houses. If I come to the house and I see this house could be matched for my buyer, we might have a buyer. But like I said, I would only need like 10 to 15 minutes just to share with you what we do for sellers, just like you that have the house on the market and hasn't sold. So
Yeah,
it
because
really, I
I'd
would
have to
really just.
talk to my
Mhm.
wife. Do you think
Of
you could give
course.
me a call back maybe like next Friday?
Yeah, of course. I want you to speak with your wife because I mean it's a big decision, and you want to make sure that you're making the best decision possible. But let's say that you tell your wife that you find somebody who can tell you exactly what you need to do to get this home sold. I'm guessing she would want to speak with them, wouldn't she?
Yeah, I definitely need to talk to her first because she's the one already deciding to wait.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's put it down for 5 p.m. tomorrow. If she is open to it, we can have the meeting. If for any reason she's not open, we can always cancel it or move it around. How does that sound?
Yeah, we could just do that, but I'm gonna have to talk to her tonight.
Of course, yeah, yeah. If whatever she decides, then you can just text me or call me, and we can change it for a different time. No problem. So, yeah, I'm excited to meet you and show you what we do. So thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to see you. Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still
Hey,
need
No
to.
worries.
before any
You're here.
feedback is given, I just want to say you did amazing. It's super hard to get up in front of all these people and role play. So I just want to say you did amazing. Props to you, and this is how you get better. So that's it.
Thank you.
Chris, you got some feedback for her?
Yeah, I know you're okay, nervous. It's obvious. But the thing is, you're up here, you're doing it. I think over time, Consuelo, once you keep doing it and doing it, because like with everything in life, repetition will bring you to where you need to be. Just doing it. At first you were doing great, and of course I threw the obvious objections that are out there. Because we're all gonna get hit with those, and I'm still learning myself. So, I think with repetition and consistency, you'll get better. But good start. You stumbled at times, but hey, we all do. But I think it's all really just mindset. It really is.
Yeah, thank you.
Here's the feedback I would give you, Consuelo.
Mhm.
So at the very beginning, sometimes like he was like, hello, and you're like, hi. Sometimes when you match a
Mhm.
little bit how they respond, believe it or not, they'll be more receptive to your phone call at the very, very beginning. So sometimes, like if you listen to the university because you have access to it, somebody will be like, hello, and I'll be like, hello. And I'll be like, I'm looking for John. And I'm almost like mirroring how they're talking a little bit. And it's funny because I've done that and people will be like, oh my God, is this John? Like they think I'm like one of their relatives or they think I'm one of their friends. And the reason they believe that is like, look at a group of friends. And sometimes you'll notice that a group of friends will use some similar language, like speak the same, use certain slang words. They will dress the same almost to be part of the group. So sometimes when you mirror and match at the very beginning, it's almost like it's easier for you to be a part of their tribe, and they may be a little bit more receptive at the beginning. So that's one thing I wanted to point out at the very beginning. If they're like, hello, I'll be like, hello, yeah, I'm looking for John. And that's not how I normally talk, but that's how they're talking to me. So I'm mirror and matching them at the very beginning. Then I can transition to like more of a normal voice. But at the very beginning, I like mirror matching people because I feel like um, they're more likely to be receptive to my message if I'm one of their tribe. The other thing I would just say is there were certain closes that you would start, and I almost felt like you would think of something like a different close, and then you'd combine like 2 or 3 or 4 different scripts all into one, almost like a little bit scattered. So what I would say is that the more you practice, the more efficient of a communicator that you're going to become. Meaning, instead of starting with one, then thinking, remembering, oh, like, and this is an example. I think you were saying one, and then you were like, oh, I don't call everybody. I only call people that I know I can help based on what I see online. Like I saw you like combining different things as you were thinking of them. The more you practice, the more you'll be able to be like, okay, this is what to say in this exact situation, and very concise, and then be able to transition or pivot. And that'll get better as you continue to practice. And here's the last piece of feedback. I would be careful as to, and this is something for everybody on the call. Whenever you look back at your calls, pay attention to what was the talking to listening ratio. Meaning, how much of the time were you talking versus how much of the time were you asking questions and listening? And this is the same for presentations. Whenever I have lost presentations, a lot of the times I look back and I reflect. I'm like, okay, how much of it was I talking versus how much of it was I asking questions and listening? And that, if you notice that ratio is like 80-90%, where you're doing 80-90% of the talking and they're doing 10% of the talking, dude, you're losing them a lot of the times. And their brain is going somewhere else in most cases. So I would challenge you to pay attention to that. Like, and if you look back at this call, just ask yourself, what percentage of the time was I talking versus what percentage of the time was Christopher talking? And if you're talking, it means you're not asking good enough questions to get Christopher to talk and getting them to feel comfortable. Getting them to talk and getting them to open up is actually a sign that you're allowing them to feel comfortable, express themselves, and you're asking good questions as well, too. Hope that helps.
I feel like I don't pay attention of what they are saying because I'm so worried about what I'm saying. So yeah, I guess it's practice.
Yeah, and what I would suggest as well to get more comfortable with that, I think often, if we're not careful, we become overly concerned with how we're being perceived. And as such, it creates like this level of self-awareness that actually inhibits your performance. It inhibits your ability to be able to deliver. So what I would propose or suggest, even though it might sound a little counterintuitive, like taking an acting class, like taking like a speaking thing where you have to get up in front of others and present a what are those called? Like not stand-up comedy, but where they do like improv, where you're in front of a group of people and you have to get comfortable with being in front of people and presenting. And what happens over time is you slowly, that kind of feeling of being super concerned about how you're being perceived, it begins to dissolve over time. And that is completely free, because now I'm no longer kind of trapped by this concern about how I'm being perceived, and I can use my eyes for what they're for, which is to actually see. You know what I mean? So if I'm overly concerned with how I'm being perceived, I can't actually see you as a client because I'm too worried about like what to say next, what are you thinking about what I'm saying, like all this stuff. So I can't actually stay present with you long enough to really connect with you.
I would say repetition, Consuelo. How many times a week are you practicing, just out of curiosity?
I am in a group, but sometimes nobody answers. Sometimes, so it's not every day. We have it every day, but sometimes nobody answers.
So she's practicing. She also wrote out scripts every day. So I really don't like. Yes, repetition is the mother of learning, father of action. So makes it the architect of accomplishment. But how many of you guys have studied, knew everything for a test, but when it came time for the test, you froze? Yeah, Christopher? Yeah. How many of you guys, if you're by yourself role playing, it sounds amazing, and then the moment you get in front of somebody, you're like verbally vomit? Yeah. Why is that? It's not that you don't know the material. Like that could be a component, obviously. You got to do your part to like prepare. But at the same time, if you're fully prepared and you're still not performing well, I would propose it's because you're overly concerned about how you're being perceived and you're afraid of failing. That's a psychological thing. That's not like a practical thing. So the way to overcome that is to get more comfortable. You know what's interesting? When I hop on calls, look at what's happening now. Of all the people that are on these calls, like right now, 90%, like 80 to 70% of them all have their cameras off. Why? Because they don't want to be.
Bro, they're in the restroom. Let them go. Let them use the restroom in comfort. Come on,
maybe.
Man.
But you know what I'm saying? Like that's a thing, bro. Look, Curtis now is like, oh shoot, he's talking to me. So what I'm aware of is that, you see what I'm saying? You can role play all you want, and if you're sitting in the dark in the shadows like a wallflower and you're not willing to put your face on camera, I'm telling you, it's going to show up in your presentation. You see what I'm saying? So like, it's yes, there's components to this. You have to learn what to say. Repetition is the mother of learning, the father of action, which makes it the architect of accomplishment. But I know a lot of you guys practice a lot. And you role play a lot, and you read the scripts a lot. And yet when it comes to delivering, what happens? So I got to get more comfortable being in the presence of people. I got to get more comfortable presenting in front of others. I have to get more comfortable not being overly concerned with how I'm being perceived by others. I'll tell you guys a story. So me and Jose, he's my kind of brother from another mother. And we've been doing this thing for, 3 years now. And we decided like, hey, we're going to do this event. And Jose has a lot of attention, whatever. He filled the room. We had almost 200 people in the room. And while we're in the room, I give a presentation, and then people want to get a microphone. They want to ask questions. So we're like, here's a microphone. Guy stands up. He's like, Aaron, I want to ask you a question. I said, great. We hand him the mic. I have no idea what he's going to say. Well, he proceeds to start off with, yeah, Aaron, the first time I interacted with you was online, and I thought you were annoying. And your voice bothered me. And I hear, Curtis, this like nervous laughter rumble through the 200 people in the room. Do you know what I instantaneously realized? All of those people are deathly afraid of getting that type of feedback. That's why they never show up. That's why they never put themselves out there. Do you see? They're massively concerned with how they're being perceived. And as such, they'll never show up and actually let you know how they really feel or what they really believe about things. Now, when somebody else witnesses that in another human being, we think that it's a superpower. It's not. But then he proceeded to say, which was wild, but then when I thought about it, I realized I wasn't actually annoyed with you. I was annoyed with myself because what you were saying was true and I wasn't doing it. Anybody besides me have ever noticed that when somebody points out to you something that's uncomfortable, we have a tendency to lash out at them and make them bad? Yeah. Why? Because we have to admit we're not as cool as we think we are, as smart as we think we are, as fast as we think we are, as good as we think we are. Yeah. But the highest form of love is somebody pointing something out like that, as long as their intention is not malicious. It's really with the intention trying to help you, right? Well, then you know what happens. So he went from, I don't like you and you're bothering me, to I need to switch companies. And then he partnered with us. So I don't tell you that story to make it about me, but instead it's just to illustrate what I'm talking to you about. Like if you have an issue with that, okay, let me ask everybody on this call a question. If you're in a room of people and people are talking, do you usually contribute or do you just shut up and listen? Yeah. And if you do contribute, is there any hesitation to actually say what you really want to say? Aha! Mario's like, yeah, bro, contribute.
You want me to make you a coffee?
And then I'm like, hey, do you ever hesitate about actually saying what you want to say? He's like, oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? Why? Because we're overly concerned how we're being perceived. So I really think that by working on that, that'll cause that issue, Consuelo, to disappear. Imagine everybody that you spoke to, you weren't worried about proving yourself right or proving yourself worthy or do they like me? Your only concern is what problems do you have? So I can figure out if I can help you to solve them. Does that make sense? So work on that. If it means you got to get into an acting class, do it. If it means you got to do an improv thing, do it. If it means you got to sign up for Toastmasters, you have to present in front of people. Guys, do you realize we're professional presenters? That's what you do. And yet here's the question. How often do you practice presenting in front of groups? How often do you practice presenting? Yeah? Or am I just reading stuff and hoping that that's going to do it? Am I just regurgitating words and hoping that that's going to do it? Because here's the thing, Consuelo, I've connected with you on a one-on-one basis. You're vibrant, you're dynamic, you're alive, you have a good personality, like all of that. But what happens is when you're too concerned about how you're being perceived, I don't see any of it.
I did Toastmasters when I was starting off my career. And their first, they have I forgot, a 12, 13 presentation series where each one of the presentation teaches you different things. So one of the presentations, the whole purpose of it and what they grade you on is how well you fluctuate your voice. Meaning you got to get uncomfortable, meaning it's okay, how many times does your voice go up and down? So they want you to be rah, and then start off and then go really low and then up to and the whole lesson is supposed to teach you voice fluctuations. Another one is hand gestures. Some people overly use hand gestures when they're presenting. That's another one of the topics. And I forgot how many of them. It's somewhere between 10 and 15. And they all have a very specific mission, which is to teach you something about becoming a better presenter. One of them is, I forget, I think it's engaging the audience, meaning going up to people in the audience and getting people engaged in the audience. So if you guys haven't done Toastmasters, it's really good for practicing presenting in front of people. And each one of the presentations that you do is going to have some sort of level associated with it. And I did that very early on in my career.
What is it? What is the class called?
Toastmasters.
Yeah, it's a national organization that helps people with public speaking. You guys, I want you to realize something, okay? People, what's the greatest fear that people have on the planet? What's their biggest fear?
Death, moving, public speaking.
No, it's actually public speaking first, then death. So I want you to realize something. People would rather be in the casket than to give the eulogy. That's crazy. Okay? They would rather be in the casket than be the person giving the eulogy. Now, let me ask you another question. What is one of the most valuable skills on the planet? Public speaking. Do you realize there are people on planet Earth that make $100,000 for a 60-minute talk? Everybody that you go to see that are on stages, that were invited there in these kind of seminars that you go to, their speaking fee is like $50,000 to $100,000 for a 60-minute talk. That's how valuable that skill is. And what we're doing, even though we don't think about it, is a form of public speaking, is it not? You're speaking to the public. You're just doing it one-to-one. Sometimes it may be one-to-many if there's family members there or significant others there or whatever the case may be. So if you're going to go down this path of becoming like a professional presenter, you need to understand that elementary school is role-playing. Elementary school is getting the scripts dialed in. If you are constantly and perpetually vibrating on a frequency like, well, I just gotta get, like, no, dude, it's not going to cut it. Sorry. And as Jim Rohn says, those are called the facts. It's the way it is. So you have to ask yourself a question. Am I really going to become a professional presenter? Because if you are, let me ask another question. Other than just looking at scripts, what are you doing to improve your presentation skills? Exactly. You see, Consuelo, she's like, nothing. Do you understand? So, I want you to just expand your thinking with regards to how you perceive what it is that you're doing. Because you get good at presenting one-to-one, you could present 1 to 5,000. It's no different. But you got to make a decision. And again, in our marketplace, and any marketplace around the United States, okay, there's 100 agents in the whole MLS system that do more than 20 million in volume. That's the opportunity. Yeah? And everybody else shares what's left over. Did you hear what I just said to you? Everybody else shares what's left over. So here's the really cool part about that, guys. Mediocrity scales. Doing just enough scales. What's true is you get to make a decision. Do I want to be part of the mediocre many or part of the fantastic few? The ones who recognize that this is a profession. No different than learning how to play the violin really well. Hey, who makes all the money? The one that is in the crowd, like the one that's in the orchestra, or the soloist who's playing the violin? The soloist does. Yes, that's how that works. Yeah? So it's no different here, guys. And that's the opportunity we have at our disposal. Jose is he's not doing brain surgery, just so you know. He's not saving lives. He's able to make multiple millions of dollars in gross commission income in a calendar year because he is a world-class what? Presenter. I was able to do likewise. I was able to do 100 deals a year for 10 years in a row, 200 deals a year twice, 80% of that business being listing sold because I learned how to what? Present at a very high level. And based on what I'm doing right now, right, starting from a standstill and going to 400 agents, do you think that has anything to do with the ability to be able to present? 100%. So just make that decision. It begins here. I'm not trying to discount role playing and practicing. It begins here. But yeah, Consuelo's issue is not that she's not role playing and practicing. Her issue is that she's overly concerned about how people are perceiving her. Deal with it. Yes? All of us have something that's getting in the way of our success. Get around somebody who loves you enough to tell you the truth and then deal with it. Because you know what will happen if she doesn't? She'll keep role-playing, keep practicing, keep being afraid when she gets in front of people, not get the outcomes that she wants, and then she thinks that something's wrong with her, and then she'll quit. But it's all because we're not dealing with the thing. Whatever that thing is. So figure out what it is and deal with it. And get around people who are willing, who love you enough to tell you what the thing is. See, some people might perceive what I'm saying to Consuelo. What would they say? Oh, you're being so mean to her. That's not very nice. Yes? You know who I love most in those reality TV shows? Simon. Why do you think I love Simon the most?
Because he keeps it real.
You write down the pipe. Yeah? People stand up, Mario, they're like, oh, my mom and my grandma and everybody says I'm a great singer. He's like, well, apparently they're deaf. Yeah? But that's what happens when you're coddled forever, yes? Where nobody sits you down is like, listen, brother, I love you enough to tell you the truth. We've had people come in, they're like, hey, bro, my listening, I'm not gonna like hear anything, but like, I got it dialed in. And me and Jose look at them and be like, hey, bro, I mean this with love. The results don't say that that is true. Yes? So, yeah, keep coming to the well. Be open to feedback. What most people do when they get strong feedback is they retreat. Or they vilify the person giving it. Resist that temptation. Listen to it and deal with whatever the issue is. So what I'm excited to see, Consuelo, is a text from you saying, hey, I signed up for Toastmasters. And then another one saying, hey, I'm about to give my first talk and I literally need to change my pants because I crapped them. Or, hey, I gave my first talk and it was terrible. I sucked. Yeah? And then the next one where she's like, hey, this one wasn't that bad. Oh my God, they actually now nominated me to go to competition because I'm getting better. Guys, don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better, bro. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Here's the way it works, guys. You do not get rich on demand. You get more because you become more, not because you want more.
A couple of people have questions. Let's get to them before the end. I think the two people have their hands raised. We have JP and then Alma.
Yes, good morning. Thank you. Thank you, Jose. So I was referred to a client seller by my mortgage broker. And I keep following up with the seller. Finally, I get a hold of the seller. And they said, sorry, I haven't returned your call, JP, but we're already considering a different agent. And I managed to set up the appointment, saying that if it would benefit you to list with me, would you at least spend 15 minutes of your time? And they said, okay, but we're not going to sign anything. So before I came, I called again to meet with the family, husband and wife, confirmed that they were both there. Brought everything, including the listing contract, and they still told me that they're not willing to sign anything with me. So I still presented, did everything I could, but at the end of the day, I talk about the commission, I talk about the listing price, I talk about my marketing, and they said that thank you for your time. And we're going to think about it. This was just yesterday when I followed up, and they said that they've already signed with another agent. I just don't know what I could have done better. I did set up the appointment, but something is missing for me to improve my skills so that I could increase my closing ratio or ask better questions in order for me to see if I could have, see what I could have done better to close them at that point. But I had an idea when I met with the client that they were not talking much. They were just listening. And I was asking question, they answered question, yet they at the end they said, okay, thank you, but we'll think about it. We'll think about it. That's what they keep saying to me.
At the end of the market analysis presentation, did you give them the price that you wanted to list it for, or did they give you the price?
I asked them what they're comfortable with, and I gave them the price. So they said that the price makes sense.
Got it. Did you pre-qualify the appointment as well too before you went out there? Did you know what price they wanted, what type of time frame, um, loan balance, motivation, all of that?
Yes, so they have their motivation is to sell and buy another property. So I presented them that as well. I gave them many options. Actually, I gave them to see if okay, you have the option not to sell, you have the option to keep your property and buy another, and also you have the option to, if you have enough equity, you have the option to well, keep the property and buy another, or upgrade to a bigger home. So I presented them that as well. It's just that I got the gut feel already at that time when I was talking to them that they're probably just shopping around. I just kind of like that gut feel, but I still want to get in there and see if I can. Okay, let's see. I'll do my best to know if I can close this client.
Here's what I would recommend. What market are you in, JP?
Vancouver.
Vancouver. So this is what I did very early on in my career. So there was times where I got tired of losing presentations and losing income as a result of the presentation. So whenever I would have a presentation, there was a couple of agents that there was like horse property, which I wasn't comfortable with, beach property that I wasn't comfortable with. I would reach out to the best agent in that area that did beach properties. And I'd be like, hey, look, I have a listing presentation. I'll be very transparent. I'm new. I don't know what I'm doing. I need help. This client's going to sell. Any way that I can invite you to the listing presentation, I'll take whatever you want to pay me. Just pay me whatever you want from the commission. I just want to be there and listen. And if you haven't done that already, I think that would be extremely helpful for you to be able to see how somebody else presents in their presentation. Now, I do have a university that I probably have like 20 different listing presentations recorded on there. If you ever wanted access to that, just send me a DM. Obviously, if you're outside of Elite Builders, there is a fee for that, but there is something like that. But I would say that would really, really help you to sit down, and until you start to feel more comfortable, like I would even sit down with different top agents and be like, hey, look, like invite one top agent one time, invite another top agent the next time. And I think it's going to help you to see and spot what you need to improve on. Obviously, the other thing, like if you ever part of that university, there is a mastermind. One of the things that you could do is, or even on this call that's free, you could volunteer next time and just do a listing presentation and go over the listing presentation as to how you presented with those clients. And then we can actually give you feedback without me kind of knowing like how the presentation went. I can kind of imagine certain things in my head, but I can't give you feedback. So what I would suggest is next week, if you want to jump on very early and say, hey guys, I want to do a listing presentation, and do the listing presentation, how you did it with those clients. And then I can give you like honest, candid feedback as to what areas of improvement there would be, basically.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'll attend the one for next week also.
Awesome, brother. Cool. We have Alma. I think you had a question.
Okay, quick question. So this is probably more pertinent to like California real estate agents, but with the wildfires and stuff, like my seller was like, "Oh, do you think that we're going to get more money for our house up in Oakland because of the fires down in LA?" And I was like, I imagine the neighboring counties would probably see a jump in price faster than we would, and insurance money might need to get paid out. So that could be like a few months, years down the line, depending on how politics goes. So like, what would you say in that scenario where like people have a really unrealistic hope maybe of the property value like jumping up because of what's going on?
Are are they already on the market? Are they coming on the market?
Coming on the market.
Got it. Um, and they're not listed yet, basically. And are they asking you to increase the price basically as a result of it, or are they asking you for your opinion?
I think, well, partially asking my opinion, and also their expectation has increased of what their value is. And their expectation was already like
Pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would refer back to like previous experiences. Has there been other fires before, and did that help your guys' market before? Like, so for example, in 2017 there was a Thomas fire in Ventura. There was about 1,000 structures that were lost. Did that fire have any impact in your area?
No.
No.
Wouldn't say so.
No. So this one,
And then
there's
there was like
10,000.
the big fires in Santa Rosa, but that didn't really do anything in our area either.
So that's what I would refer back to. I would be like, look, that's a great question. So here, if you had asked me this question in 2010, I probably wouldn't be able to give you proper guidance as to how to handle the situation. Since we've had multiple fires, I'm able to give you like what we experienced in previous fires. So we had the Santa Rosa fire. There was about 10,000 structures that were lost, or 5,000 structures that were lost. And unfortunately, or what we noticed is that, yes, there was an increased demand, but the increased demand was in that immediate area and maybe a surrounding city or two, basically, because people were already used to living in a certain area. That's the impact that we saw. So unfortunately, we didn't see it trickle into other areas. Now, for the LA fire, I think that we would potentially have more of a correlation because we're neighbors to that market. I think what you're saying as it relates to being in Oakland and LA, it's a completely different market, you know? So I would explain that. Do you already have the contract signed or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I would just stand firm and be like, look, like there was a fire in 2017 that was a Ventura fire. To be quite honest, there was zero impact in our market just because of the proximity. Maybe you get one or two people that come into our market, but because of the distance, the markets that are more affected or benefit the most are the markets that are like closest in terms of proximity. So in our market, there was a mountain fire not too long ago in Camarillo. And yes, there was a positive impact in the Camarillo market, you know, not in Oakland or freaking, yeah, there wasn't. Like, so did you receive any people from Camarillo come into your market? Last time there was 260 structures that burned down, maybe like 2 months ago?
Me in particular, no.
Okay. But it's very, you can kind of hear about it sometimes because there was a agent that I was talking to and we were talking about like, hey, how they, what price they got. He's like, look, the buyer actually came from this fire. So if you didn't feel comfortable, you can talk to a couple of agents, but I'm almost confident there was zero impact in your market because the impact I see is in is that specific city or very close surrounding cities nearby, basically.
Okay.
That's kind of like the impact that I see.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I went with it, but I wasn't sure if there was like more that I should add in terms of data. So that was really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, just refer back to previous fires and be like, look, like if this was like my first rodeo, then I would just say, hey, look, I have no experience with this, but this isn't the first fire. Obviously, it's a large fire, but we've had about 10 different fires in the last 10 years that have been significant. In Ventura, there was a Thomas fire. In Camarillo, there was the Mountain Fire. In Westlake Village, Agora Hills, there was a Woolsey fire. Now we have the LA fire. We have this fire. Like, and different fires had different structures that were lost. Some of the fires had 1,000. To be fully transparent, the fires in that area I see has more of an impact in those areas because I have friends in those areas that a lot of the buyers are relocating to those areas. But whenever we're 10 hours apart, the odds of that happening are very slim to none, basically. And I think that type of data will help you seem more knowledgeable and also put it in a way where they understand as well, too. because you're referring to other fires that have happened already, because it's not the first fire. There's been fires before. Cool. All right, guys. Hope that this was helpful. Hope that you guys learned some stuff, and make it a great day, guys. Peace.